Good day, Laushis! It's me again, Teacher Laiko Arby, and welcome back to a new episode of Real Talk at 5 on Talk. So for today's episode, I invited an experienced teacher. She's one of the best trainers and captains in the platform. She's a good speaker, she's an actor, she's a friend of mine. She's one of the faces of 5 Talk. I am really happy that she gave her time to be part of this vlog. So if you are looking for ways on how to manage your class or how to handle students, then this is the right video for you. Please watch this. Good day, welcome back. So today I have with me.
I'm Marcian. Hello.
Teacher March, I have questions for you about classroom management. So the first
Sure.
question is, how do you handle students who are undisciplined or maybe rude in the class?
I cry. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Well, if that is the case, of course, the first thing that you will have to understand is, these students actually have different kinds of backgrounds too, right? They might not have a very decent day or whatnot. They might have been forced by their parents, just like how we were when we were children, when we used to go to school too. It's not always something that we really like to do, but we have no choice but to do it. And with that, I also try to make sure that onset of the class, I try to practice and make it clear to both me and the student who has the authority, in a nice way, of course, in the classroom, that I am the teacher, so of course he must listen to me. And we have to be reminded that as teachers, we also have that social responsibility of acting as their second parents.
Yes.
Of course, in a nicer way, right? In not so strict way, not so strict manner. So if I can sense that the student has a different kind of behavior, I would call it out nicely, and I would practice like a positive reinforcement that I know that you are a good student. Say, for example, I know that you're a good student, Laiko. So if you will continue behaving and responding to teacher, and of course that's when you'll present to them your reward system, or I can remind them that mommy will be happy if you will continue doing this and that. And hoping in a way they will actually get back to their senses and realize, right, how they were expected to react or to cooperate in the classroom.
But I've seen a lot of posts from Facebook that some teachers are taking students who are misbehaving. They're taking it personally. You know what I mean? They get sad. They get how can I say? Not disappointed,
They get
maybe
affected by it.
affected. Yes, and then it will be, and then all of their lessons they will feel the same way. But what advice, what piece of advice can you give to those teachers?
That's always what I would want to impart, especially during my training sessions, and even in another off the record session. I call it reinvent session. It's not new to everyone anyway. I always remind them that, again, we're all human beings. It's definitely understandable that a stimuli would affect us more so if you're already very much indulged with that lesson or with that kid or with that student. But at the end of the day, we must realize again that maybe it's just a phase, or it's just they're having a different kind of day, and it will be up to you how you would let that impact you. Does your next student deserve that kind of energy as well? Imagine, let's try putting ourselves in our client's shoes, right? Would you appreciate it if someone would treat you how they felt with a previous customer or with a previous client? I always want to remind teachers that the next student doesn't have anything to do about it, right? And if this doesn't turn out right, let's have a growth mindset. Make it up, right? It's your chance to make it up and to make things better on your next classes. If didn't turn out right, would you allow that really to have a domino effect so that your entire
Next
day,
classes,
or yes, and it's not just that, it's one student, right? Give yourself a chance, right, to move on. Sometimes in life you have to
Inhale,
hashtag,
exhale,
right,
cap.
move on, right? Hashtag move on, because instead of just having one lesson that Would you really want to have, say for example, you have 20 classes, would you want to have 19 classes that you'll have to dream about at night? Right? So come on, right? Don't let it affect the other classes. Just smile, inhale, exhale, and smile.
Yes, I totally agree with that, Cap. How about this one? How do you handle students who are mimicking what the teacher is saying, or what we call them parrot students?
Yes. Well, actually, that one, I there was one trainer who even said that it's a way of, you should even be proud or happy about that. You should
Mhm.
appreciate it, because remember, again, to my fellow teachers in China, one of their best methods of learning is the rote learning, right? Process. It's memorization through repetition.
Repetition.
So we can't blame them for that. It's their way of learning. Here in the Philippines, it's quite different. You will be given tests first before your teacher would explain it to you, right? But there, it's just repetition and repetition. So if they actually follow you, you should even take pride for that, that they respect you as a teacher, because they would actually, try to impersonate you. And again, go back, and try to understand better. It's their first, most of the time, those students who would just follow you are low level learners, right? So they are beginners. So it's but understandable. Put yourselves in their shoes. If it's your first time to hear a word, for example, French, right? Ici beaucoup pour cela. Did you understand
What is
what
that?
I just said? Right? I don't understand it as well, but it sounded like French, right? Ici beaucoup pour cela. That's why the parents would also take videos, right? Because they're so proud. Wow, my son Lyco knows how to speak French. What does it mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. But in reality, what I've just said is not even French. I hope you can see it.
Ice book of for sale. Actually,
For
sounded like
sale.
ice book of for sale.
Exactly, right. They don't understand what they're saying, but I sounded like, French, and it sounds nice. So it's just like that with them, right? So you should take pride that they're trying to imitate you and not take it against them.
That's right. How do you handle students who are not interested to study? They keep
I
on
also
turning
showed
off
them
their
I'm not
camera.
interested. I'm just kidding. Of course, you can't do that, and we're not supposed to do that. In that manner, again, we cannot please everyone so much, right? We have to understand. Maybe again, they're having a different kind of, I don't know, day or experience. Maybe their mom or their dad reprimanded them or something, or maybe they're very much tired because, again, going back to their culture, they're very strict, right? You have to study, 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 study. No time,
Homework,
not
homework.
much time for play, right? Homework, 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 right? So I just try to make sure that I would have different approaches, right? Because again, we have to make our classroom setting quite different from the typical ones that they are already getting. Just like in classes right now, to some of those students who are taking online classes too, right? It's quite different for us, right? So some of us, we're really not comfortable to turn on our camera. So, but if my student has his or her camera on, I would try to make sure that we will be leveled first, or we will try to establish rapport, of course, and feel comfortable, right? So I will ask them about their interest. Again, if it is a lower level learner, you don't want to ask a lot of questions,
Yes.
right? Because you have to adjust your language. You have to grade it properly. So just ask something that you think would interest them or would make them smile. Be keen and observant to their surroundings. Do not insist on things like talking about girl stuff if you can see that the girl student is into cars or dinosaurs or something like that, just to make them feel more at ease, and play games, right? That's why we have teaching aids, so that there will always be something else that you can present to them, and hopefully you can get their interest, and they won't feel like it's just the same thing. Right? Be the most one of the trainers before that I look up to said that be the most educational distraction, not desk, okay, distraction that your student can have, that they will not feel that this is a typical classroom setting, that I need to go to school, I need to learn. Oh no, it's Margie, teacher Margie and Sam, we will play games. It's all right for them to think it, consider my class with them as a game time, instead of them considering it's a typical English lesson time. right? Without them realizing that in the process, they're already learning something.
Yes. Wow. I learned a
That
lot
was kind of
from
long,
you,
I'm
Margie. And I believe that also, those people who will watch this video will also learn a lot from this. Thank you, Teacher Margie and
You're
Eve.
welcome. Thank you too,
Yeah,
Laiko.
thank you, Margie and
Captain,
Captain Margie. And
businessman.
thank you. I hope a lot of our viewers learn a lot from you. They can apply those learnings in their classes. You are one of the experienced teachers in the platform. So I
Thank
hope,
you.
yeah. So I hope those things, they can use them in their classes, and everything will be, will work out fine and stay in the platform for long. So thank you very much, Cap. So have a great night. Thank
Have a
you.
great day,
Thank
everyone.
you. Stay
And do subscribe
safe.
to his channel.
Thank you.
There you have it. I hope this video helps you on how to handle different students in our classes. If you want to be an online English teacher, please send me a message privately and I can help you on how to start your 5 journey. This is Teacher Laiko RB saying always be happy, be safe, goodbye!